Coach, the USILA has ranked Penn State 20th for this week. This is the first time they've been ranked since 2009. How did you use that in practice this week to pump up the team for their two games?
I don't think we use it so much in practice as a pump up for future games. I think that we definitely commented to our guys that we're just kind of sick of not being in that upper echelon group. I think that's something that we touched on Sunday after our game against St. Joe's, and just how we need to keep getting better at practice each week. I mean, I think that's been our huge catalyst throughout the course of the year to make us better, is that we just got to practice harder across the board. I mean, and that's the way we're going to get better, especially getting into the league play towards the end of the season. So it wasn't so much about a ranking or a number. I mean, that stuff's great. I think it's, it definitely is good to see that people are starting to recognize Penn State lacrosse in the lacrosse world. But for us, it's just about practicing a little bit better each week to prepare ourselves for our next opponent. So.
In your 8-6 loss last night versus Bucknell, you allowed a goal with 1:36 left in the first half to put the Bisons up by 1, and you were held scoreless in the fourth quarter. What are you working on this week to help the team stay focused during these critical game-changing moments?
It's tough because it's a quick turnaround because we got to play Lehigh on Saturday on the road, another Patriot League opponent who's very similar to Bucknell actually in just how they play, their personnel. We just got to keep, leading our group as coaches. I mean, I think we got to continue to have our guys realize that we're making baby steps in the right direction. We are getting better each week. We definitely need to make more critical plays at critical times throughout the course of a game. And I think if we, I know we talked a lot about as coaches, is we didn't do a great job between the 30s. We didn't do a great job in the face-off game, clearing game, ground balls, just those blue-collar areas that we feel we need to be great at in order to beat a team like Bucknell, who's very good. So if we can clean that up over the next couple of days and kind of get a tough road win against Lehigh on Saturday, we'll have great momentum going into the CAA, which we're 2-0 in right now, which is a good spot to be. And we'll have 4 games remaining to kind of earn our spot to play in May, hopefully.
Have the captains been living up to expectations in terms of leading the team during practice and before and during each game?
Yeah, I mean, we put a lot of pressure on those senior captains and leaders. They have done a nice job. It's just everything is so new to everybody. And again, not to make excuses for our guys because we definitely don't want to do that. But they are working hard. I think we're trying to continue to get better each week, and we've definitely shown that. We just haven't collectively put both sides of the ball together yet in any one game. I mean, we have not yet had a game where the offense has been great, the defense has been great, face-offs have been great, ride and clear has been great. So all those big picture items that we practice every week, unfortunately, we always seem to have one or the other show up, and we just have not yet had both show up in a big game. I mean, there's no doubt that we've had some wins this year that both sides of the ball played well at times, but we just haven't for 60 minutes put a full effort together across the board in all those areas. So if we keep getting better at practice, again with a quick turnaround for Lehigh, I think we should be able to do that, especially with what's riding on these last 5 games. 1 out of league and then 4 straight CAA opponents, all huge games for us to secure a spot playing in the CAA tournament come May. So hopefully we can continue that as we get through the week of practice.
So you talked about having the offense and the defense both show up. Do you guys have to maybe try something different at practice in order to get that, or do you think if you keep doing what you've been doing, it'll eventually come?
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be the same areas each week. I mean, stick work, ground balls, face-offs, riding, clearing. I think our half-field offense and our half-field defense, just in terms of X's and O's, is what we want it to be. I think there's always certain times you could execute a little bit better with your patterns on offense and your slide packages on defense. We've gotten great goalie play throughout the course of the year with Austin Kaut. We've just been inconsistent on those areas, and if we can tighten up our stick work and limit the turnovers and get a few more ground balls, a few more possessions each game, and not shoot ourselves in the foot by making those critical mistakes in the middle of the field, I think we'll find that those two sides of the ball come together, and that's where it all happens. I mean, you can be great on half-field defense, you can be great in half-field offense, but if you can't get the ball from one field or one side of the field to the other, it's tough to be successful at this level against the caliber teams we play. And if you make mistakes, good teams will capitalize on them, and that's what we've seen in our losses to Notre Dame, to Ohio State, to Villanova, to Bucknell. I mean, those teams are good teams that are capable when you do make mistakes, and we definitely feel that it's kind of us beating ourselves at this point. So if we can tighten up in those areas, I think we'll be in pretty good shape the rest of the way out.
And as you just said a few minutes ago, you guys are finally being recognized as a caliber lacrosse team. You do have 4 conference games in a row at the end of your season. Does this put a little bit more pressure on you guys this year than it has in the past?
I think there's been pressure on this group all year just based on the fact that, all of a sudden, there's a new coaching staff and everyone thinks things are going to change overnight. There's definitely been a lot of undue pressure probably on our seniors just from the coaching staff and our expectations on them to change the culture around here. Everyone wants to have that opportunity to play in the CAA championship, and obviously for us, it's not all about wins and losses, but if we have that opportunity in front of us and we feel we can compete with anybody on our schedule and beat anybody on our schedule, we just need to make the little plays down the stretch. And when you're getting to the point where you're more than halfway through the season, you would hope that those little errors that we saw in February and in March will start to disappear. Unfortunately, we played last night on March 29th, and we're still facing some of those issues. But if we can tighten up on just a couple different areas and be more consistent for 60 minutes in each of those contests, we feel confident that with the group we have, we can compete and beat the teams that are ahead of us in our next 5 games, and hopefully have an opportunity to play in May. I know that I think this group really wants it. I think we'll, with our being 2-0 in the league, we've got 2 home games in a row, which give us a great opportunity here in State College to potentially secure a 4-win record in the CAA, and then take two games on the road to kind of wrap up our regular season schedule at Delaware, at Hofstra, which are both extremely tough places to play. But we do kind of have the table set right now to really put ourselves in a great position to be able to make that tournament. And then who knows, when you get into the top 4, whether you host or go on the road, anything can happen in the postseason. So hopefully we can do our job here over the next few games.
And with all that being said, what can we expect to see from you guys Saturday versus Lehigh?
Well, we're going to get this thing going in the right direction. I mean, I think the guys are going to continue to work hard. They're going to get the very best from the coaching staff in terms of preparation. We're already preparing for Lehigh. The guys are taking a day off physically today, which I think is desperately needed after the stretch we just had. And we'll get back after Thursday with a work day, and then do our final scouting report Thursday afternoon. Walk through, prepare our guys for what they will see on Saturday from Lehigh, and then it's just a matter of being a good traveling team. I mean, that's one of the things that when we have gone on the road, we've kind of been inconsistent. Our first time on the road against Villanova, we did not prepare ourselves very well. We did not travel very well, and then we didn't play very well. Then we turn around and go up to UMass 2 weeks ago and beat a really tough road team, which was great for our program. And then last night, thought we traveled well to Bucknell. We were prepared. We were ready to go. The guys came out excited. We got off to a good start. I mean, it was a back and forth game throughout the first half, and then we just kind of lost some steam there in the second half. Unfortunately, weren't able to possess the ball as much as we would have liked. Didn't capitalize on a few opportunities we had, and just didn't have enough possessions, unfortunately, due to face-off losses and turnovers on the clear and stuff like that. So we'll get our guys ready for sure. We'll be prepared, and we'll give our very best effort to give Lehigh all they can handle on Saturday. So
thank you. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.